Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We're glad you all could be with us, as well as tuning in through our online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. Well, for the past decade, we've been bringing you guys great conversations, but for the past 2 decades, our next guest has been bringing you guys some great stories that you've definitely been talking about and also being able to enjoy yourself. We're excited to welcome back to our program today best-selling author Brad Meltzer. We're going to talk to him about his brand new book out now called The Escape Artist, but also about the amazing journey he's been able to have to be able to write not only for adults, but also his popular series for children called Ordinary People Change the World. We'll talk to him about that and what it's been like for him to have the two audiences appreciate his work. Brad, hello to you and welcome back to the program.
I love being back. So good to hear your voice.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all mine. A very busy year already for you. Congratulations to you, of course, on The Escape Artist out this week, but also, of course, the continued success of the Ordinary People Change the World. What has it been like for you, Brad, to kind of think about these past, 20 years and what it's been like for you to do what you love and to have readers literally around the world respond to it?
It's humbling is what it is. I'm the first in my family to go to a 4-year college in my immediate family. And so the idea that I could be a writer or even have this life for 20 years talking to my imaginary friends is incredible to me. And, with The Escape Artist, I really did want to take a look and say, I can just do the same thing I always do, write a White House thriller. I know where the secret tunnels are below the White House. I've done them before. I can do it again. But I just really didn't want to. I wanted to take a hard look and say, what are my best books? Where did I do my best work? And that's where The Escape Artist was really born, is just knowing that the best books I've ever done for me are the ones where it's an amazing character. Right? You have to have an incredible character. And I love, in 20 years, I've never gotten a starred review in Publishers Weekly, which is like the kind of trade press for books. They review books before anyone gets them. And 20 years later, with The Escape Artist, I finally got my first starred review, and I love that I'm still trying to learn, still trying to get better every day.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that about The Escape Artist because, you're known for your characters, Brad, and in this particular book, I remember when I first was reading it, and you have to slow yourself down when you're reading a Brad Meltzer book, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you, because it moves so quickly, and you get so engrossed in the characters that you want to be able to savor it. With the characters Zig and also Nola, we're able to get some amazing, I think, backstories of them as you kind of back and forth through time, but also able to understand what makes them who they are, what makes them tick. One of the things I wanted to mention to you, Brad, that I picked up on in The Escape Artist that I think is an interesting parallel to your own life is when Nola got that recognition for her art and being told that she was good at something, and that was something that she was reminded of. Talk to us about that. What has it been like for you to be able to kind of reflect on when you realized that you had this gift?
That moment you're seeing in The Escape Artist is my life. I had my teacher in 9th grade, my English teacher, Sheila Spicer, change my life with 3 words. She said to me, "You can write." And I was like, well, everyone can write. She said, no, you know what you're doing. She tried to put me in the honors class. I had a conflict. She said, here's what we're going to do. You're going to sit in the corner for the entire year and ignore everything I do on the blackboard. You're going to do the honors work instead. And what she was really saying was, you're going to thank me later. And 10 years later, my first book came out. I went right back to her classroom. I knocked on the door. She said, can I help you? I said, my name is Brad Meltzer. I wrote this book, and it's for you. And she started crying. I said, why are you crying? She said, I was going to retire this year because I didn't think I was having an impact anymore. And I said, are you kidding? You have 30 students. We have 1 teacher. And so when you see Nola in The Escape Artist having her life changed by a teacher, it's not my imagination. It's my life. That's what you're reading there.
Wow. And I love the fact, too, in other ways you're able to bring in the truth of situations that you have done so much research on, Brad, taking us and even calling that out in a sense in the book, like when Nola is kind of thinking about torture. And as you talk about even in the book, how the movies and some books get it wrong. And, and also even when, of course, there's some more gruesome things that happen, how, we think about how it happens in the movies or the books. The attention to detail, do you think that's one of the reasons, too, that you do have the following you do, that because people feel as though not only are they taking this journey, but it is something that is so real for them?
I do. Listen, the book opens with a very simple premise, right? Nola, the main character, is dead. She died in a plane crash, and the government says she's dead. But when our hero, Zig, is putting her body to rest, he finds a secret note hidden inside the body. And the note says, Nola, you were right. Keep running. He realizes Nola's not dead. She's alive. She's on the run. She's the escape artist. Now, that's a fine, I'm sorry for ruining chapter 1 for you, but that's chapter 1. You get the hook real quick. But it's based in reality. So what I do is when I went to research this book, I went to Dover Air Force Base, and I give my plot to the experts, and I said to them, could you actually hide a secret note on someone's body? And they told me if you're on a plane and the plane was going to crash, you could eat a note, and the liquids in your stomach could potentially protect that note. And I thought, what a cool idea. But they said to me, it's not an idea. It happened in real life on 9/11. And I said, what are you talking about? And they said, on 9/11, one of the victims of the Pentagon was brought to Dover Air Force Base, where the bodies go. And in their stomach, they found a hidden note, I should say. And I was blown away. And I said, well, what does the note say? And they wouldn't tell me what it said, and of course I respect the privacy, but I thought it had to be someone in the military, because who else would have the wherewithal to figure that out? But right. I realize now, to me, that note was looking for what we all look for, connection. We all want to love and be loved, right? All of us. And I can tell you that when my parents died, one of the moments of solace that I could take from that situation was that I got to say goodbye to them, that was an amazing gift I was given. And what that note is just absolute proof that when you reach out for people, when you send that message in a bottle, so to speak, that people will reach back, and someone's there to reach back. And I love that story. So I built The Escape Artist as a book. It's a thriller. It's a mystery. It's a great Mother's and Father's Day gift and birthday thing. But it's also a life lesson. And to me, I fill it with those real stories because they inspire me. And that's what the heart and soul of The Escape Artist.
Right. One other thing I want to mention about that, Brad, and we can talk around this for our audience who haven't had a chance. We're going to tell them how they can get The Escape Artist. But Nola is forever changed by what she's seen, by what she's dealt with, and what she's experienced. And even Zig, in this powerful scene in the book, who tries to get her to hold on to her humanity and to, who she is and who he has known her to be. Even as he pleads with her, she's kind of faced with this challenge. What was it like for you to kind of put yourself in that situation of having to have suffered the things that Nola has suffered and to think about the decision that she has of life and death in her hands?
Again, I did research on, I don't want to ruin what happens to Nola in the book, but all of us have disasters in our lives. We all have disasters, whether it's addiction, whether it's abuse, whether it's a family member dying, and we're in that crater, and we got to crawl out. And that's the ultimate coming back to life. That's what we have to do. We got to come back to life. And, the page 1 of The Escape Artist opens with this page. This is page 1. It says, in 1898, a man named John Elbert Wilkie is in control of the U.S. Secret Service. He's a magician. He's a friend of Harry Houdini. He loves doing magic tricks himself. And it's the only time in history that a magician is in charge of the Secret Service. And I love that detail. But I started looking into Harry Houdini's life for this. And Harry Houdini was obsessed with death, had his own disasters in his life. His mother died. But he wanted to figure out, life after death. And, just used to always spend time kind of showing that people who do seances, that they're big fakes and they're frauds. But he also gave his family and friends secret passwords that if they did come back to life and there was a seance, they would have a code word that only they would know, so he would know if it was really them or not. And the code word that Harry Houdini gave to his mother, the one woman whose death he could never get over, was this single word, supposedly: forgive. Forgive. Now think of that a moment, right? Again, we all have our craters that we crawl into. Nola in the book, in The Escape Artist, has one that she's in. But the only way to come out, the only way to come back to life is we must forgive, especially ourselves. And again, I built that right into Nola. That's how she, is trying to find her way out and, and can't do it. It's just so hard for her. And I think all of us, we all can relate to that moment. I love, that people have said, Nola's the new girl with the dragon tattoo. I'll take that compliment any day. Of course, it's not fair to the girl with the dragon tattoo, but I'll take that compliment. But again, it's because we all know we have to claw out of our own craters.
Right. Yeah, for sure, and it's great that you're able to share that in works of fiction, being able to share what really is the truth for all of us. Brad, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. I'm excited to welcome back to the program best-selling author Brad Meltzer. We're talking with him not only about his great new book called The Escape Artist. It's out now. You can get it through our friends at Amazon.com or through your favorite bookstore. But this isn't the only book that Brad is celebrating this year. And Brad, I asked you before we began the segment if we could talk a bit about the Ordinary People Change the World series. The newest book I had a chance to share this year is I Am Harriet Tubman. What I love about this series, even though, of course, it's great for kids to be able to tell them this remarkable history, we adults, I learned so much in these books as well. Talk to us about that, what it's been like for you to once again have those dual audiences with this particular series.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. When I go to my book signings now, we have people, I see whole families come. And I have the adults who say, Mom and Dad says, we read your thrillers. And then they say, and our kids read your kids' books. It's so humbling, right? You're entertaining this entire family. And as you know, we've talked about it before, I was tired of my own kids looking at reality TV show stars and people who are famous for being famous and thinking that that's a hero. And I just thought, we have so many better heroes for them. We started with I'm Amelia Earhart and I'm Abraham Lincoln. For my son, I did I Am Jackie Robinson because he loves sports. Wanted to show him what a real hero does. Doesn't just make millions of dollars and score lots of points, but helps someone, helps other people. And my daughter, we did I Am Jane Goodall because she loves our dog, loves animals, and I wanted to give her a scientist who takes care of animals, and she loves it. It's our #1 female-selling book. And for my youngest, who's a creator, loves to color and draw, we did I Am Jim Henson. And Jim Henson, when I was 5 years old, taught me that you could use your creativity to put good into this world. With Sesame Street, that's what he did. And I hope if I'm doing nothing else today, my friend, is I'm just using my creativity, hopefully trying to put good into this world. And that's what this entire series comes from. I love the fact in the last year, since the presidential election was approaching, we saw something amazing happen, is that 2 of our books started shooting up like crazy. I Am George Washington and I Am Martin Luther King Jr. And it wasn't a Democrat or Republican thing, but it was just that parents and grandparents on both sides were tired of looking at the TV and seeing politicians when they wanted to show their kids were leaders. And we all know there's a great difference between a politician and a leader. And I love that people are using our I Am books to build libraries of real heroes for their kids and their grandkids and their nieces and their nephews.
Yeah. Well, Brad, thank you so much for giving us such enjoyment through your books and inspiring people along the way. Again, The Escape Artist is out now, including, of course, the Ordinary People Change the World series. And Brad, it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime. It's always a pleasure to have you on with us. I so appreciate it, and so appreciate you supporting me, in whether it's kids or whether it's adults or anything in between. Well, thank you so much, Brad. I appreciate that. Make sure you all are staying connected with Brad at bradmeltzer.com. And again, the books are available through our friends at Amazon.com or through your favorite online retailer and the bookstores as well. If they don't have it, they'd be more than happy to order it for you. If you all came in late and missed part of the conversation with Brad, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.